Your hometown station real estate and financial guides are back on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, to share with you what you need to know in order to navigate the sometimes confusing markets and guide you toward financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Well, we say it every week. Every week we ask you to please reach out to us because we love helping our community. We love helping you, and we love helping guide you to personal and financial wellness. And if we don't have the answers, I guarantee we know who does, because we have accumulated some of the best professionals we have ever assembled here in Santa Cruz. We're talking experts that have been in the industry, in most cases in their respective industries, 20 plus years, and they're accountable to you right here in Santa Cruz. And we're talking CPAs, financial planners, real estate professionals, you name it, we got it. And everybody needs sound advice, because everybody's gotten bad advice, and we know how much that cost you. So make sure you reach out to us again at 855-DON-GINO, 855-DON-GINO, or if you want to just email us because you're want to be a little more discreet, that's fine. It's donandgino@gmail.com. There's a theme here, donandgino@gmail.com.
We're trying to keep it simple, Don.
That's right, that's right. And you can always visit us at donandgino.com. It has all kinds of great information. So, all right, so you have now entered the vault.
That's right.
That's right. We're going to keep reminding you that we're excited. This is our inaugural show in our custom studios right here at Cherry Creek Mortgage, where we love helping you with your refinances and purchases. And we want to thank Cherry Creek Mortgage for giving us this opportunity every week between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. every Thursday to help guide you to personal and financial wellness. And we have two great experts today to help us with that. Back is Tracy Hauser with Cobalt Realty Group and Ms. Carolyn Braun with First American Natural Hazard Disclosures. Now, before we go any further, Tracy, I want to go back into the trends, what's going on, but because we keep bringing in First American Natural Hazard Disclosure, people are going, what is that? Well, they keep saying those words. I don't know what that means. Guess what? Most of the real estate industry doesn't either. It's a piece of paper that everybody tends to sign or have in their paperwork, this big stack of paper, and go, I don't even know what that is, but they said to sign here.
It's a book.
Yes. So in this giant book you get when you buy a home, and it's worth it because you're buying a very expensive asset, there's a reason for all that documentation. Trust us. We don't make you just sign stuff to sign stuff. Well, maybe we do. But Carolyn Braun can give us a little enlightenment of what NHD or natural hazard disclosures really means. Thank you for joining us, Carolyn.
Oh, thank you.
She's got such a sweet voice, huh?
I know, total opposite of me.
Booming Gino. So why don't you help us enlighten us with what that actually is?
All right, well, the acronym NHD, Natural Hazard Disclosures. It's a requirement by law that the homeowner disclose if their property sits within any of the 6 natural hazard zones, the flood zones, the fire zones, earthquake, disasters. And that's what we do. And it started about 15 years ago that it became a requirement to be put onto a statutory form, and it's kind of evolved into all kinds of other additional advisories and disclosures.
Well, because I know you guys also have all kinds of different reports. I mean, there isn't just that. That's your main report that goes with every property, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, but I know you have other reports.
Well, we do provide, with that report now, is a tax report. Mm-hmm. It's a detailed report of the property taxes, any special assessments on the properties, Melrose,
okay, there's
which
the big
is
one.
the hot button out here in Santa Clarita. It's really big out here.
Gino's going to jump on this one.
I'm not only going to jump on Melrose, I'm going to jump on direct assessments. And so if I don't show up tomorrow, then the county tax assessor came after me.
Again?
So, one of the things that I utilize your report for is I always want to try to figure out, in the past and in other areas, not in Santa Clarita, we can utilize a factor of 1.25%, and that's traditionally what we've used as lenders to figure what people's taxes are going to be. Well, lo and behold, in Santa Clarita, that does not work. Okay, because
in a lot of cases,
it really doesn't. I mean, you have not only the Melrose, which is a big thing in certain areas. In fact, in the neighborhood I live in, my next door neighbor has a different Melrose rate than I do, even though we're in the same neighborhood, because the builder decided to blow out those properties at the end and didn't want to lower the price, so he paid out the Melrose. So it's really, really important that you look specifically at this report. That's the only way you could figure it out. Additionally, the direct assessments, for example, Northbridge has a special direct assessment for the bridges. And it's expensive. And it makes a
landscape
difference.
maintenance districts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all adds up.
Lighting districts.
Lighting districts.
Yeah, so these are all things that are in addition to the base county tax. So in Santa Clarita, it's very important what you do in addition to the risks, right? Because I know that there's, like you said, not only so you've got the tax disclosure, you've got the natural hazard disclosures, and then you've got things like radon gas in Stevenson Ranch. Look at Don. Look how he ended up.
Yes, I'm going in the dark right now.
Well, all those, the radon, the local county, city disclosures, all that's included in the NHD report. That's how it's evolved. It's not just 6 natural hazard zones anymore. It's commercial, industrial disclosures. It's the radon disclosures. It's endangered species. I mean, there's oil and gas wells. There's pipeline disclosures now.
Airport traffic.
There's airport proximities in the report. So it's very, very
Yeah, I
detailed.
should have looked at that when I bought my house.
The
I
Honor
fly over
Ranch.
my house every time.
Right. And even back to Melrose, we have developments out here that's claimed to have no Melrose. But when you look at the actual California tax data report that we provide, it will say special assessment. It won't be classified as a Melrose, but it will say special assessment. And that's another $2,000-$3,000 a month or a year. That's tacked onto that property taxes.
So by hearing all this, Carolyn, and if you just tuned in, we're speaking with Carolyn Braun with First American Natural Hazard Disclosures, a very important person that works with our teams out here in Santa Clarita, works with our real estate teams like Tracy Hauser with Cobalt Realty Group. It's imperative to have someone like this on your side, because if you didn't look at this type of stuff, there could be a lot of issues with your home or issues with your mortgage payment, because most lenders, we see it all the time when we see comparative good faith estimates, they just automatically would put 1.25% because that's a standard county tax amount. If you don't really do your due diligence, and I know these professionals do, Carolyn, with your reports, you help us with that. Tracy, I know you do your homework to make sure, because you've seen these type of things make a difference in the properties they buy. It could be a difference of hundreds of dollars in your mortgage payment.
A month, yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have your reports and how in depth they are, and it's more important that people realize. I know you say it's a piece of paper they don't look at, but this is important stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I can jump all over that, right? So, and Tracy, I'll ask for your assistance in this, right?
Sure.
So ultimately, as a former real estate agent, I know there's a lot of paperwork to sign. And a lot of times the buyer has the best intentions, right? They say, oh, I'll just read it when I go home. I'll just sign everything for you now and I'll read it when I go home. And ultimately, which one of us is going to go home and read 200 pages of disclosures we just signed? So I know it's one piece of paper with a little tear-off slip at the bottom that looks like absolutely nothing. So how do you encourage a buyer who promises they're going to read it but isn't going to read it? How do you encourage them and tell them how important an NHD report is?
We don't. We go over the report with them.
Ah.
We sit down and go over it. I have
Wow.
a team that I've worked with for over 20 years. And Denise Davis, who's been with me for
Denise.
almost...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
you
worked
know
with her.
Denise.
I know
Yeah,
Denise.
yeah.
For 26 years in the business.
She's the mechanic. And that, again, going back to the concept of customer service. We understand that people aren't going to sit down and read that on their own. That's not a fun read. So we sit down and go over the disclosures with them personally, so they understand what they're doing.
Well, that's what we wanted to bring up, is that's their true professionalism and making sure that they know how important these items are, instead of just put in a stack of paperwork, because they will just sign it. In most cases, most buyers and sellers are just whatever you put in front of them going, okay, I'm signing. But it's good that you actually inform them of what they're signing and what it's all about and how they're protected, and the important items like we mentioned earlier about, not just what hazards can be in your home, but also the hazards of special assessment. All right, good stuff. Carolyn, thank you for explaining that. All right, we're going to jump back to you, Tracy. I want to go back into the trends of the market and how there's great opportunities for buyers and sellers today. When we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHF, great stuff coming up.